TV.
In sensitization, in education, in mobilization, the ministry is that of communication and orientation. In terms of orientation, a lot of all trendy issues, all burning issues, we have brought them to the fore through jingles, mobilization, through teachings and public enlightenment. We have done all. And in terms of communication, obviously, that one, I personally handle that area because I interface frequently with the press, with other people, so that they know deep down what Edo State is doing. And the whole thing is for them to internalize the ideas of good governance, which Governor Obaseki stands for. So we have done all this over the years. Right from the outset, the governor has been, passionate about addressing this issue because it has become a warfare, and the enemy is an invisible one, although very deadly. So many things have been put in place. Epidemiological studies that was carried out in conjunction with UBTH to chart the way and bring to the fore possibilities of the numbers that we'll have from the first month to the last was done, and the governor sat and moved into action based on that. So many doctors, medical health workers have been trained, laboratory personnel have been trained, equipment have been procured, such as ventilators. About 30 we have now, 30 ventilators, more beds, 30 more bed spaces have been created, and we have testing, about 4 testing machines now in the state, with so many, over 100 screening centers, starting with Toredo now, a sort of mobile screening centers from place to place. Now, the governor has said, apart from all these precautionary measures, infrastructural measures put in place, there are precautionary measures to be taken. For example, just as the World Health Organization has said, constant washing of the hands with soap under running tap water, the use of alcohol-based hand sanitizer. We must do all this, and more importantly, social distancing, because we realize too that the virus does not move. It is human beings that move the virus. To ensure that this thing goes down well, meet the desired result, the governor recently also imposed a curfew from dusk to dawn. That is 7 p.m. in the evening to 6 a.m. in the morning. Or still precautionary measure to ensure that there is total lockdown in the night. Even if daytime, it is relaxed a little because of the informal nature of our economy in Edo State. So all these have been put in place. Of course, every exercise there must be, you can't get 100%. But one thing we will cover, because we know that gray areas always provide cover or shelter for fraud artists. So with this kind of feedback, when the second phase comes, we will attend them and ensure that these areas are blocked. But the governor's natural intent is to get to those the items are intended for, and the process will not be abused. That's why he said from the very beginning, no politician should be involved, so that people don't accuse the government of handing items to politicians who now give to their followers. So we recognize all religious leaders, recognize leaders who are respected in their various areas, communities, like community leaders, traditional institutions like the Odion Wireys and the rest, who know those who are poor amongst them from what the landlords in the vicinity will tell them. Oh, specifically, yes. In the area of infrastructure, 100%. They have done it. Everyone sees it as a fact. The governor may not be talking, even when he's mute on an issue and refuses to speak. One delectable thing is that his silence is always wonderful to listen to. You know what I mean? So these are the issues. In the area of job creation, he has told the world that he's going to a conservative estimate from the way we have pass that number of 200,000, both direct and indirect, because job creation is not always direct. Some can be indirect. We have the Edo Jobs Portal, where people have been trained and organizations and corporate bodies apply. And from that pool, people are pulled out, taken to give to such. That's also job creation. So on the whole, as at 4 months back, we have covered over 80% of that, so that we will even exceed the 200,000 job. The essence of job creation, of course, you know that hunger is the parent of revolution and crime. When people are hungry, you are driven them to desperate solution. But the governor has said no, people must be made to work. But in any case, dialectically speaking, when a youth or a young man is made to work in the day, he becomes too tired at night to rob. Of course, you know, it's a dialectical thing. This thing is issue of consequences or cause and effect. If you have not planned well, you have not put things in order, the results will be awful. But Obaseki, as a governor, has patented his own style. He does not join the mass of people, because there can be foolish majority. You know, when majority says it and people say that is it, they are just carrying out or following that mass hysteria. But no, they will fall prey into what the late Senegalese president, philosopher and poet Leopold Sédar Senghor said, that emotions is for Africa and reasoning for the Greeks. People must reason, imagination. So it amounts to failure of imagination, therefore, for people to think that Obaseki gave these things I did not get to them without looking at contending objective conditions under which this is done. Well, they still have some latitude to amend, to shift, timetable. INEC knows what to do. But one thing I know is that this pandemic has come, and in history has had, plagues, series of plagues, and they have come to an end, and humans still live. Plato said it, that only the dead have seen the end of war. I tell people, in Edo State, the living will see the end of this war. We will fight it, and this curve will flatten, and it will die out. So elections will come. There's no use. It is useless when man say, oh, how I wish I know the end of the day's business before it comes. But it is certain that the end will come, and then the end will be known. You get what I'm saying? It is certain that that day will end, and the end will be known. So let's not bother ourselves. We just pray. It is prayer. When it comes to this kind of crisis, you base it. It now depends on God and the law of averages. Now, if you pay money, they will still go and procure food items with it. Is that not so? And since you have said stay at home, when you are procuring food, you will go out. So the government has said stay at home, I will procure it for you. If you just pay everybody, you cannot, issue of social distancing and that your directive, stay at home, would have been vitiated, because many people won't stay at home. I want to go and buy food. Even those who have not been going to market, because you have given them money now, they want to go and buy food. But now, you have bought it for them. Stay at home. Your own will deliver to you. Go and cook and eat. Government cannot take care of everybody. Palliatives cannot last forever. Even your salary, those who earn salary. The World Bank has said salary for the urban poor, the salaries is not living wage. Cannot sustain them, yet they earn salary. So when you say for how long, you are driving the issue to a point of absurdity. We are avoiding the two extremes. The two extremes is that so that we don't hearken to the language of that character in Shakespeare's work, Coriolanus, who said, "I rather die than famish." I rather die than famish, so you go out. But here, the government is saying, no, you will not die, but there will not be famine. That will take care of you. You will not die. They will not. And the thing is there. Nobody should amuse himself to think that it will just go like that. We must take proactive and affirmative action for it to go. I I fought from school to the foremost human rights organization in this country, Civil Liberties Organization. We fought the military. But we just discovered that after military, well, in fact, Africa and indeed Nigeria has fought three dictators. First, colonial masters, then the military, then the civilian despots. We thought with democracy that everything will be altered, the entire thing. But the military left on their own terms. Realize that military disengagement, no matter how carefully planned and supervised, cannot usher in democracy. Democracy can only be ushered in by Democrats. We will get there. We are still moving. Democracy has come. We thank God it has not been, disrupted.
Yes, sir.
We'll continue to fight for good governance because we still have some areas where we talk democracy without democracy, government without good governance, rule of law even when the laws are bad. All this eventually will be negated as we continue to evolve. Don't forget that when democracy started, we bought all the ideas of the West, true and true, not putting into consideration some critical issues. One, the history and historical experiences of the people. Two, the undemocratic distortion and disarticulations that negate democracy. Three, the manipulation of the process by entrenched interests in the society. And four, the essence of democratization and democratic transformation as against mere liberalization and election. Before now, you just have election. Election is coming, election. Now, we begin to see that election is not an event, but a process. The process has been on.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, everything we have scope. All the ills in the land will be cured when we are determined. When we are determined. Don't forget that all civilizations have their Achilles heels. Democracy came from Greece, but Greece supported slave trade. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, all civilization, Napoleon was a nepotist. Even Paul, the almighty Paul, was the waster of the world, even though he became the great propagandist of the word of God. So, these are issues. It cannot be complete. Every man, like civilization, has his own Achilles heels. Constructive, I take in good faith. But when it's actuated by malice, jealousy, and bring unnecessary sentiment into it, I give back because me too. They say as fire, so pity. You get what I'm saying? They say cautious in bondage shall deliver cautious. I cannot fold my hands and allow you to dominate the space when I am living. I cannot rest. I continue to fight so long as I'm alive. Don't forget, people say they are resting. They want to go and sleep. You will sleep when the time comes. You are alive. There will be plenty of sleep in the grave. Now that I'm alive, I will walk well, fight the opposer, correct him, and render his antis nugatory and useless. So I take criticism for government. I take for myself. I am both the punch man and the punch bag of government, and I want to be so. They should be good still. They should abide and have faith in Godwin Obaseki, because they should see him always as their friend, their brother, and their servant.